Yeah, man. It's an early morning for me today. Once again, DJ Chase, the hottest podcast around, man. The pregame party miss podcast, WDJCDB, DJ Chase TV, man. This episode is brought to you by College Radio Directory. Use the promo code DJ Chase, and it's also brought to you by Groover, the hottest platform to get in touch with players, curators, labels, music reviewers, and people like myself, real people, not bots. But today, we got the talented Shy
What's
TV,
up?
influencer, media personality, artist, supreme dancer, content creator.
Mhm.
You know what it is, man. How you doing today? First of all, let's talk about this. Let's start like this. How you feeling today, mama?
I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling energized. I'm ready for
Yeah.
this interview. You already
Yeah.
know.
For sure, for sure. So, I want to get into your background a little bit. A lot of times when I ask about the background, right? And the reason I do that is because a lot of artists and a lot of creatives, they don't really tell their background story. Like they just get into like the right what they're doing right now. But I
hmm
like to get into the journey. So let's talk about the journey of Shy TV. First of all, where you
Yes.
from?
So I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, but I was raised in Miami, Florida. So I am a Miami baby. Shout out to Miami, Florida, South Miami to be exact.
Yeah, 305.
Yes, yes. You already know.
For sure, for sure. How was it growing up in Miami for you?
Honestly, I mean, it's been honestly just a ride, a journey. I feel like, just looking back at my childhood
Mm,
versus now, I could have seen a lot of connections in regards to the music, dancing, just really like me being a creative kid growing up,
mm,
being around a lot of people in the community that was also into just content creation without it even being
yeah,
a popular thing back in the day. So, my childhood growing up, I've just been attracting everything that I'm doing now. So I'm just looking
yeah.
back, okay, everything's just connected to my childhood. So growing up in Miami has been cool. A little ups and downs, but
Mm,
at the end of the day, it's been really good. It's been good. It's very inspirational to be around
mm,
energy that you could gain from in regards to,
yeah.
parents.
For sure, for sure. And at what age did you start like doing content? Like what age did you say, you know what, I'm just gonna go all in? Like what age did you start doing content?
So when it comes to content, I mean, I've been very back and forth with the whole content thing. I feel like it's been popular now, but I've been doing content since I was like 7, 8 years old. I have like
Yeah.
this iPad. Yeah, I had this like iPad of mine that I received when I was like 7 or 8. And then ever since then, I've just been recording myself, just me dancing, doing like skits and vines and TikToks and all these things. And
Yeah.
it's just crazy that this is the world now. So it's looking like when I was young, I was ahead of the game. Like,
For sure, for sure. And when did you realize, you know what, it was actually a gift? Because sometimes people say, okay, I'm gonna do it for a little bit and they fall off, or
right.
they grow up and they fall off.
Mhm.
At what when did you realize that you had a personality like to be on camera all the time?
I realized that once I became a young adult. So I've always had this feeling of like knowing that I'm supposed to be on TV and
Mm,
cameras and action since I was a kid, honestly. But I feel like as I got older and I started to like mother myself and love myself and like really realize the potential I had within myself and how passionate I was,
mm,
that's when I started to take it serious, which was like 22, 21 years old. So
okay.
I'm 26 now. So,
Okay.
it's been a couple of years since I've really
Mm.
just been in this journey for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And when were your parents involved in like any entertainment, anything like that?
So growing up, like honestly, like my parents are from Haiti.
Mm,
They're bona fide Haitians, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So they came to America, with some rocks, you know what I'm saying? They didn't really know
yeah,
too much about what's going on with
yeah,
talent representation or like how that thing goes. And I'm actually happy because I felt like I wasn't supposed to be exposed just yet as a
mm,
kid. I feel like I was supposed to be protected and
yeah,
like live a normal life up
yeah,
until this point of like, all right, you're older now, you have more discernment and awareness of like what's going on.
mm,
It's more so time for you to do this now.
mm,
So, I'm happy that I'm doing this just now and
mm,
like, but when it comes to my parents, they wasn't really connected to it because
yeah,
they didn't really
yeah.
see a way of income or just they felt like,
They want you to be a doctor.
yeah, they want to be a nurse, just a nurse, just a nurse, nothing
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, they just wanted to make sure I had like a solidified, job or whatever. And I went to school. I got my
Mm,
AA degree in nursing, went to
nice.
FIU,
Okay.
I went to university and
Yeah.
just wasn't for me, you know?
Yeah, I
But
feel you. I feel you.
yeah.
For sure, for sure. And with that being said, so when did you realize, you know what I'm saying, like you can make money from influencing? Like when did as I stated off camera, like, my show is dedicated to education, right? So at what point did you realize, you know what, I can monetize this and make some real money doing it?
So I think it's that's always been my challenge, like of just like because I'm so passionate about this whole thing that
Yeah.
money I see money as like money's energy, like
Mm.
money will come to me, like that's my mindset, and that's just like that's just always been my mindset.
Mm.
I've studied quantum physics,
Mm.
yeah, and like the law of attraction and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Really, I'm a big firm believer in that, and I studied that for 6 years. So
Yeah.
like the money comes like when you love yourself and you're doing what you're doing and you're very on point and consistent and you're
Mm.
connected, the money comes. So I'm not really focused. I wasn't focused too much on how am I going to be able to monetize it, even though that's really important.
Yeah.
But my mindset is like money will find me and follow me once I'm on this journey,
Yeah.
hard bodies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I agree with that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
for
I'm.
sure. For sure. And as you know, for a young woman trying to get be influencer and things like that, how does one monetize social media presence and personality?
I feel like it can come out in various ways on how to get monetized. I know on
Mm.
YouTube, if you're consistent for a certain amount of time, you get to, have commercials on your little your little YouTube videos or
Yeah.
whatever. So that's like a way to get monetized. But I mean, like when it comes to monetization, it's all about just you and like
Mm.
just like the energy you put out there and like the people you're attracting. Like, is your values up? Do you know
Yeah.
your values? Do you know your worth? Things like that. So I think it's a process when it comes to monetization. Um, and just great marketing. I think what comes with that too is just marketing yourself properly,
Mm.
making sure you're marketing yourself on all platforms and like making sure you're putting yourself out there so you could receive like opportunities. And then making sure your work is very sharpened and people could really understand what you're producing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's a perfect answer actually. Thank you for that one.
No
And do you feel like, you know what, the online connection is better to make money, or do you feel like in-person connection is better, such as like hostings or things like
worries.
that?
I definitely am gonna say in person. I'm old school with it because I
Yeah.
feel like we are gravitating towards a very digital world, which is a great thing because I feel like it gives people an opportunity to put themselves out there in a very brandable digital way, but I feel like it's also important to connect with others energetically in person because that's how impress their subconscious mind. You just like
Mm.
you in person with it.
Yeah.
They could just feel you, they could feel you, they could understand what you have going on, and
Yeah.
they could just feel your emotions. So I really do feel like in person, at least for me personally, is really important. Like
Yeah.
has
For
to be.
sure. I appreciate that. And like what platform do you find is easier to monetize as well too? And it doesn't necessarily have to be like payment wise. It could be like gaining traction or motion.
Right.
TikTok or Instagram. What do you find easier?
For me personally, I think Instagram. I don't know why. I'm having a trouble with TikTok. I'm actually just going back and forth with my team,
Yeah.
wanting to start. You need to do TikTok, and I see myself getting there. But as far as like monetization and being seen, for an audience, a wide range of audiences and stuff,
Mm.
I think TikTok is a good
Yeah.
platform for sure. Because even though things have changed in the algorithm, TikTok definitely allows people to connect with you on a deep
Mm.
personal level, rather than Instagram is more so on like a resume.
Mm.
This is my brand.
Mm.
You know, the updates and stuff
Yeah.
like. But TikTok is more personal, more organic,
Mm.
more one-on-one real
Mm.
with the person, the audience.
Yeah, for sure. And with that being said, like with social media, right? Do you feel like it's more important to, I say, like interact, so like talk to your audience, or do you find it easier to and talk to your audience, I mean like go on live and things like that, or do you find it
Right.
easier just to post like what's that say, more orchestrated content, like not user generated
Right.
content, but more like the dance videos, things like that? Do you find that, which one do you find is more important?
I think for me personally, I like to be very articulate with what I post and connecting with others with
Mm.
my postings. I'm not too much consistent on live, only because I feel like live is when you wanna be in a place where you are talking real stuff on live, and
Yeah.
you're connecting with the audience,
Yeah.
you're engaging with them. But I feel like when I post, my posts are super on point and just straightforward. It comes with a message, it comes with some type of influencing and engagement in that.
Mm,
I feel like some people get lost in the live.
mm,
If you're gonna be on live, it's about like talking and teaching and engaging,
mm.
rather than posts is like entertaining,
Yeah.
like having people like, okay, this is TV, this is like, something to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And now I want to go by. I want to ask you this question too. Like now you go by Yo Shy TV. You used to be
Yes.
Miss Shy TV. What made the rebrand
Yeah.
and what made the change? What sparked that change?
So what sparked that change is Miss Shy came from when I was a teacher assistant and a nanny. So before being a full-time artist,
Yeah,
before being a full-time artist, I was a teacher assistant and I was a nanny, and it was such a humbling experience because
yeah,
being an artist is kind of like being a teacher in a way, because
yeah.
when you're a teacher, assistant, or whatever, you have an audience, you have a group of 30 kids in a classroom looking at you and listening to you and following through on what you are, telling them and stuff. So I think that's the same thing as being an artist. You're saying lyrics, you're speaking it out, you're entertaining, and you have a group of people watching you. So I wanted to attach Miss Shy to my career in the beginning of it. It drilled me and motivated me. It gave me a hustling vibe. But what changed was some type of shift within me. I don't know. It came from like the rookie
Yeah,
stages of starting this artistry to like
yeah.
transferring over to my higher self, to the way that God kind of wants me to be presented. And I feel like Yoshai honestly comes from Yoshi, and Yoshi is a Japanese word of positive
Mm,
vibes and good luck.
yeah,
So I wanted to implement that. And then also Yoshai, anybody that sees me, my name is Shy, they'll just be like, yo, it's Shy.
yeah,
And Yoshai tells a vision. That's what
yeah,
TV is about.
yeah.
So it's Yoshai telling a vision, which is anything that just pops up in my mind. I make it happen in real life, through my visuals, through my music, things like that. And then TV influenced me as well. TV definitely
Okay.
influenced me growing up.
Yeah.
I grew up in the era of 2009, 2008, when, Drake just came in, Nicki just came in, Lil Wayne just came in. So that was a time for me personally. That was a time that influenced my artistry of where I'm at right now, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
So
yeah. I like that. I like that. Now let's talk about the music a little bit, right? So you were dropping a wind freestyle, you dropping your own records, you dropping some heat, you flowing, you spitting. So let
right.
me ask you a question. I do want to ask this, right? So are you a more of a singer now or more of a rapper now? What you got going on there?
I'm a visionary artist. Like, think of me as like the baby Kanye, the baby Drake. Like, I
Okay.
don't I don't limit myself when it comes to music. I feel like
Yeah.
music is so universal and like out there that it's
Yeah.
hard for me to just be like I'm a singer. It's hard to just be like I'm a rapper. My voice is very versatile. I feel like, and I'm learning that now, and I think it's very humbling that my voice can range in different like sounds and frequencies. I could just work with any type of beat,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
very 808 based or
Yeah.
just very upbeat, very connected to my soul. But I'm very versatile. I could work
Mm.
with anything, honestly.
Perfect, perfect. And who from Miami influenced you? Like who what artist from Miami? You got a rich history, so who influenced
Yeah,
you?
I know, right? I could definitely say DJ Khaled. I could say DJ
Wow,
Khaled
okay.
because, yeah, because he is just a hustler, man. That
Yeah.
boy was a DJ and he really had a vision with certain people because, he was just a DJ and a producer. So
Mm,
was just seeking out artists who had potential. And I felt like, DJ just, I don't know, he just had some type of motivation to really win and do
yeah.
big things. And I just really love his energy. He's very rooted to family values as well, and so am
Mm,
I. So yeah, DJ Khaled for sure.
mm,
DJ Khaled, Kodak Black, XXX, rest in peace. Lil Pump.
mm.
Even though Lil Pump, his music wasn't really my forte.
Yeah.
No, I feel like he was a hustler. He wanted
Yeah.
hungry,
Yeah.
and I respect that.
Yeah.
Trick Daddy, Trina, City Girls,
Yeah.
all that, I
Yeah.
respect all of them for sure.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, like I said, you're gonna be you are influence to somebody out there too. So just don't forget
Yes,
that. And
for
with
sure.
that being said, do you feel like writing your music is as a visionary and creative? Do you feel like
Mm.
writing music to you is more therapeutic, or you just find it like you don't have such a deep attachment to it?
That's a good question. Um, I don't, when it comes to writing music, it's weird. I'm very intuitive. It's
Yeah.
an intuitive thing. I actually
When's your birthday?
April 29. I'm a Taurus.
Are you about to get a birthday coming up?
Yep, yep, yep. In two
Okay,
weeks.
okay, okay. That's why. That's why intuitiveness is there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just I don't even know. I don't even know. I forgot the question, my brother. I forgot the question, bro.
No, you good, you good, you good. No, I was saying like, is writing music
Yes.
therapeutic to you? Yes.
Yeah, so it's just a creative process. I feel like, music comes to me randomly. I just feel like it comes to me randomly, and like I did a record not too long ago, I think like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
It's a really good record. It's called Willy Wonka. Y'all need to stay tuned for that one.
Okay.
But that record, like it just came to me. I just started writing. It was just random. I just heard a beat in my head. I went on YouTube, found a beat. I'm like, oh wow, this beat was in my head, and
Yeah.
I started writing. I just started writing, and I'm just like, boom, this is a hit. Like,
Yeah.
so when I get on the mic, it's just an opportunity to like perfect and clean and just do what
Yeah.
I.
You got it. You got it. And with that being said, I want to ask you this question too. Do you find that you have more passion for dance? Do you have more passion for music, or do you have more passion for being a Instagram or social media personality?
I think I have a passion for all three. Like I feel
Mm.
like everything is all tied in one. It's a
Yeah.
package deal. When you perform, you got to give it your all. I think performing is the my favorite thing out of just being an artist, and
Yeah.
I'm waiting or just open to receive like the opportunity to just tour. I'm just ready for tour. Like I just know
Yeah.
tour is coming, but
It's coming.
everything is a process, and I'm ahead of the game. I have a vision for myself that I know that is gonna happen, but I have to be in the now. That's just always my biggest problem, being in the now.
Mm.
And it's just, entertaining and performing is just something that I know is the key to my heart.
Yeah.
Just entertaining and performing,
Yeah.
just
Well, you are a bad dancer, young lady. I want to tell you
that's
that. Like,
good. I appreciate
you be killing the dance. And when did you discover, like, you know what? Because, like I said, coming from a background such as yours, like, how do you have the time to practice that? Like, how do you find the time to practice dancing? Like,
I ain't gonna lie, this is a gift. Like this is natural. It's like it's the energy. It's
yeah,
energy. It's energy.
yeah.
And I was on the dance team though. I'm not gonna lie. God was
Oh,
like
okay.
really, yeah, God was good for just making sure that He put me on a dance team to provide me with structure and
Yeah, yeah,
discipline
yeah,
when it comes to dancing, because it's really important to have structure, stamina, discipline.
yeah.
I was on the dance team for 3 years, three-time national champion, and I felt like
Okay, it makes sense.
yes, and I felt like it definitely helped me. It helped me a lot to gain structure
Mm,
and strength,
mm,
mental strength. So, being on the dance team definitely helped me. But it's a gift though, because I always used to dance since I was a little girl, and I always had like that high energy. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it was just
Yeah.
definitely something I had within me.
Yeah, and I do want to ask you this, right? Now, you've been in the business a little while. You've been doing it. You've been a teacher. You've been so you're a woman of all trades. And I do want to ask this, like, what is one of the hardest things that you've had to deal with in the entertainment business as a black woman?
I honestly feel like it's more so of the community of where I'm at in Miami.
Mm,
Miami's a great place as far as just seeking out the abundance that you want and whatnot, and going out there and trying to find what you want in life. But I do feel like my biggest challenge coming up was being surrounded with people who don't really have the same mindset as me. So
okay.
being an outcast, being an independent individual, and just being in my own energy and just going towards the future that I know is meant for me.
Mm,
And just not, comparing myself to people around here that are on their own journey and coming up and
Mm,
doing their own thing as well.
mm,
So, as far as the entertainment industry and going into it, I definitely feel like just me being an outcast, me being real different.
yeah.
I don't compare myself to any celebrity or any person out there, but I do see a lot of myself in like Kanye
Mm,
and just Drake and just people that knew that this was for them,
mm,
but they had to go on their journey to make it real, if that
yeah.
makes sense.
That makes plenty of sense. I'm the same way. Like even me, this interview's about you, but I go through the
Right,
same thing. I go through like dealing with people who just dealt with people before I step my game up and
right,
get
right.
my own thing. Like people just be trying to sabotage and drag them. Like, why do you do that? Like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And
So
it's not necessarily like them. I learned this, and maybe this could help you too.
yeah,
What I learned is that you gotta just do your own thing.
yep,
It's not even about like, you know, it's you gotta do your own thing and you gotta just trust God. Like God is
yeah.
so good. Like
Of
he's so
course, of
real
course,
for me.
of
And
course.
like you just gotta bring them close and like you just gotta like move yourself away from people who see something in you,
Yeah,
but they don't understand.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's when the sabotage wants to come in. But it's really just us using our own self-sabotage to try to
Mm,
like control
yeah.
um other people's way of viewing us and our future and our vision. Once
Okay.
we kind of like let go of that and we just let people be and just do our own thing and be consistent with it
Mm,
and like, have like that faithfulness, bro.
yeah.
Good, you locked in.
Locked in, locked in. For
In.
sure. Now let's talk about the new single, the one that I got, Stay Up. That's
Okay.
the same record I got.
Yes.
How did that like? Because it's really different from you. It's like I was listening to it. I'm like, all right, where's the? All right, I'm listening to it. Where's the pattern? Where's the? But now that I'm talking to you, it makes total sense for how the record came about. So,
Right.
in your own words, how would you describe the record Stay Up?
So Stay Up is a record that is going to uplift people to keep going. Stay
Yeah.
up. Stay up. We praying real hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, this record was definitely momentum for me to start doing music that resonates with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was at a place where, which was great, I created a catalog of my own music that will help others move forward in their life with motivation, with strength, with this success, confidence within them. But I do feel like it's time for me to produce music now
Mm-hmm.
that's very anthem savvy,
Yeah.
straightforward, and just like out for the open, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
here to claim my abundance and like put myself out there to claim my audience, my fan base, things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And who made the beat? That's a YouTube beat too, or you produce like you
Oh,
actually
well,
made the beat?
no, no, I don't make beats. I don't make
Okay,
beats, but
okay,
I'm very good at attracting really good producers. So I have
oh
two
yeah,
solid producers right now. X9, y'all
okay,
follow him on Instagram. We got X9. He's actually a producer for Boss Mandilo, Bad Baby, Lil Tyler, and then
mm,
we also have Morty Wave, which is my producer. He lives in Egypt. Shout out to Morty Wave.
okay,
Yes. So those are my two main producers right now. So I found them on YouTube and
mm,
I'm trying to make sure that I do tracks that are just within those two producers because I feel like creating
mm,
a relationship with producers is really important. That's a very important thing because they're creating beats for you. So
yeah,
your vocals are gonna be on top of that. So you want
yeah,
to make sure,
yeah. As long as listen, I fight for my producers. I'm producing myself. Make sure you
Oh,
pay them
nice.
producers. If you tuning in, you got to pay for beats. Beats are not.
Yep, yep,
Listen,
yep.
we got to pay for beats. So, and with
You already know.
yeah, and with that being said, before we get out of here, is there a
Yeah.
full album coming out?
Right now, I'm focusing on singles. I'm
Yeah,
focusing on singles and just like popping out, popping
yeah,
out. You know what I'm saying? I really want
popping
to
out.
grow. Yeah, I really want to grow my audience and my fan base. I really want to
Yeah,
just flow, have fun. I feel like the whole album thing, I ain't there yet. Like we not
yeah.
yet. Like we want people to just get to know Yo Shy, see her singles, get to know her through interviews, personality, things like that. And then, once we get to that threshold, we could definitely start on some albums for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Got you, got you. And we in 2025, right?
Yes.
Where does Yo Shy see herself in 2026?
2026, Yo Shy is taking over the world. Like, it takes me a year, every year to level up. And right now is the year 2025 where the energy is different. This is the year where, I'm out. My energy's out.
Yeah.
2026. She worldwide. She probably in the UK, probably in London, Italy,
Let's get
something.
it. Let's get it. Let's get it. And my very, very last question, my inaugural question on this platform, I've asked it almost 300 times, and I'm gonna keep asking it. Right now, you have a young lady that comes up to you, Yo Shy, and I know this is very passionate to you as being a teacher before.
Right.
What advice would you give any young girl coming into the music business today? What advice would you tell them? You know what? How would I get into this business today? What would you tell them?
I tell them don't listen to anybody. You know, don't listen to nobody. Don't listen to nobody telling you that you can't do what you want to do. And be yourself, be creative, be fun, have fun, live life. Life is always available for you to just go out there and find yourself. I definitely recommend for you to find yourself and to bring God close because God's your only friend. I'll tell you that right now. Mm.
Listen, wise words, wise words. My girl, YoShyTV, a pleasure speaking with you, mama. We're gonna do this
Same
again.
here.
You made me feel good. Your presence is radiating through the screen
I
right now.
appreciate it.
For sure, for
Yes.
sure. Where can everybody find you? Your TikTok, your social media, plug everything.
So we're gonna do Yoshai TV on TikTok. We're gonna do I am Yoshai TV. I am gonna be posting a lot more TikToks. So y'all just, follow so you can get updated. But my main Instagram is at Yoshai TV. And then also YouTube is at I am Yoshai TV. We have my music video coming out in about a week and a half, and y'all stay tuned for real. Yoshai TV is out there.
Let's get it. Let's get it. You know this, man. I'm DJ Chase, the pregame party Miss podcast right here. Stream it, DJ Chase Radio. Download that DJ Chase Radio mobile app, man. iPhone, Android. Download that app. The new single "Stay Up" from YoShyTV streaming right here. DJ Chase Radio. It's the pregame party Miss podcast. DJChaseRadio.com, DJChase.net, Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube TV. And I'm out of here.